In this video I'm going to get springy and replace some bushes. If you've watched this channel before, you'll know that I previously swapped the stock suspension to BC Racing suspension and changed back to stock again because I just found it too harsh. This time I'm going to give it another try, but with a twist. What's great about the BC Racing coilovers is not only does the car look great, but it handles great. Dials out the understeer and it just gives better handling overall. The downside is just it's too hard of a ride even when you have the damper set on the softest setting. What's good about the stock suspension is it has a lovely floaty ride, very comfortable, a little bit more prone to understeer and doesn't look the greatest. But overall I prefer this over this. So what I'm going to attempt to do is to swap out these stock springs, which are 4 kg front, 6 kg rear, with softer springs, and these are the ones I bought. I thought the best place to start with this research was to actually speak to BC Racing themselves, so I just went to the BC Racing UK website and used their online chat and got really good support. They were very patient with me in explaining all the things I didn't know about springs. I've always bought coilovers as a unit previously, so I never really looked too much into springs as individual items. So basically there is 3 numbers on the springs. So this 62 is the inner diameter of the spring itself. So that's kind of fairly unique to BC Racing. The 180 is basically the length in millimeters of the total length of the spring, and the third item here is the weight of the spring or the stiffness of the spring. So this is a 4 kilogram spring. So what I'm doing here is these are the front springs, and I'm moving from a 4 kg spring on the front to a 3 kg. So this is basically a slightly thinner coil itself, same inner diameter. It's actually the same length. They would normally advise to have a slightly longer one if you're going down in kg size, because when you put this on the shock and then put this on the car, the weight of the car will push this down, so the result of it is the car will actually be lowered. But I'm pretty much almost bottomed out on this, and I definitely don't want to go any lower. So I'll be able to move, I've loads of adjustment to move back up there, so that's not a problem. For the rears, I'm moving from a 6 kg, so it's 200 mil long and 6 kg, to 4 kg and a 220 in length, so slightly longer. The result of this will probably be that the ride height will be around about the same, just because it's a softer spring. It will probably compress more as the weight of the car goes down on it. But I've loads of adjustment up and down on this coil anyway, so shouldn't be an issue either. What BC Racing recommend is that you don't go down more than 2 kg on an individual spring. So I'm going down 1 on the front and 2 on the rear, so it should be fine. But there's one really important thing to know here. If you change your springs on shocks that you get, even if these are from the same provider from BC Racing, your warranty will be invalid. So you're not going to be able to claim any issues if you basically put this on there and it breaks or it busts the shock open or there's too much pressure for the actual damper. The reason for that is that basically it's not tested in this combination as standard. So if I find that this is a perfect fit for the Beat, I'll probably feed back that information to BC Racing so that maybe they can offer this as an option when they're selling the kits. Because at the moment they have 2 options. They've got one with a 4 and 6k, and there's a kind of more race spec version which I think is 6 and 8 or something like that, but I can't imagine how harsh that would be. It'd be incredibly stiff. So it should be fairly straightforward to swap these on. There will be a bit of messing with the ride heights when I get it on the car again, but it's all very straightforward. What I'm looking to achieve is some sort of balance between ride comfort, road holding, dialing out the understeer, and looking good. So hopefully I can achieve that. I showed how to swap over the suspension in the previous video, so I'll do it as a quick summary this time instead. First step is to jack up your car. All four corners have the same format. A 12mm holding on the brake pipe, a 14mm holding on the bottom of the shock, and two 14mm at the top. Before you take off the two nuts at the top of the strut, it can be easier to leave them attached so you can leverage this off the bottom of the strut. As you can see, I had previously put copper grease on here, so it allows it to come out pretty easy. It wasn't this easy the first time I did it. Now I'm going to take off the two nuts at the top. You'll need to find a way to support the hub just so it doesn't put too much tension on these brake lines. I had planned on fitting some of these bushes while I was taking the suspension off and I had good access, but I now realise when I'm looking at it that the one bush I was going to replace here and also on the end of the anti-roll bar and a couple on the anti-roll bar itself would only really leave one bush left on the front suspension because there's ball joint on these ends here connecting it to the hub. So it would be a bit of a shame to replace all that and then leave that old crusty one in there. So I think I'll go back to the drawing board and order that one and then think about what I might do on the rear, because, you know, while they're in there kind of thing, can't really do all the bushes on the front and leave the old ones in the back that might be 30 years old. So not going to tackle that at the moment. I'm going to stick to the BC Racing suspension and fix that first. The fronts should be the more straightforward to swap over because the length of the spring is the same. So I'll start there. So I'll transfer this rubber ring onto the new spring. Not exactly sure what that's for, but I guess it's probably noise dampening or something. Okay, the new spring is now on this one here. And what I'm going to do to compensate for the softer springs on both the front and the rear is to add an extra 10mm of height to the overall length and just use that as a starting point and see how it goes. New springs are all fitted and they're ready to go back in the car. Just like that. That's in. The ride height is pretty good for the first try. It's almost even, maybe a tiny bit higher on the rear by a couple of mil, but it's definitely good, a couple of inches lower than stock. I guess I'll drive around for a few weeks and let the suspension settle again. It'll be really interesting to see how these softer springs do, so I'll take you on a test drive when I have a good day and report back. Well, just back from my Sunday morning sunny drive and it was class. Exactly what I was looking for. A little bit bumpier on the road, but well tolerable, and the handling is greatly improved back to the way it was when I fitted the BC coilovers first. The understeer is completely gone, even on greasy surfaces, and I even had a tiny bit of oversteer for the first time in this car ever on a particularly greasy corner. But feels just planted in the road generally. It's amazing how well these little skinny tyres stick to the road, even in wet circumstances. So if any of you are considering putting BC Racing coilovers on your Beat, I would suggest that you get in touch with them and see if you can order them with 3 and 4 kg springs instead of 4 and 6, because the difference is night and day. The ride height hasn't settled any more than it was, and it looks great in my opinion. Not so low that you would have issues with hitting your sump at the back or something like that, but looks a lot better. It's probably about a couple of inches lower than stock. You could lower them far further as well without losing the travel of the suspension, so that's an option for people that like to do that. I hope some of you Beat guys find this useful when you're shopping around for coilovers, because getting hold of BC Racing coilovers is a hell of a lot easier than getting them shipped over from Japan, and you do also have the support there, so I highly recommend it.